Hello, this is Photography Gamer, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing The Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings Enhanced Edition for the Xbox Series S. The game is also available for Microsoft Windows. The Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings is an action role-playing game developed by CD Projekt Red. The game is based on the fantasy novels by Andrzej Sapkowski. You play as Geralt of Rivia, a witcher who has special powers enabling him to hunt monsters. So what is the game like to play? Well, after the overly long prologue we've come to expect from these games, you're thrust into a compelling story with multiple strands and complex political consequences. In terms of combat, the system felt very smooth, with blocking, dodging and parrying added to the staple magic and melee moves. A witcher carries two swords, one for humans and a silver sword for vanquishing monsters. General combat skirmishes are quite tactical affairs with a nice balance between button bashing, evasive maneuvers and other skills to turn the tide in your favour. The boss fights on the whole are very well handled with some really memorable moments, and it's the complexity that makes them very enjoyable. Whether you're using fire, you're using traps, whatever it is, there's always some little quirk to the boss fights that make them interesting. As you level up, your skill tree branches open, allowing you to focus on what's important to you. Combat aside, the most compelling part of The Witcher is the deep and interesting narrative. Conversations are compelling and always worth exploring, with believable writing, good delivery and a nice array of choices depending on how you want to approach the situation. In terms of the game world regions, yes, they may be more linear than the open sections you get in The Witcher 3, but don't think their linear style makes them less deep in terms of content. Far from it. It may be true to say that The Witcher 2 is probably more concise than its successor, due to more focus on the narrative and your task at hand. As well as the main quest, you've got contracts to kill beasts. As you meet the locals, you'll find plenty of things to get involved in, from arm wrestling to playing dice. It is a fantastic example of how you can create a game world that's not that large, but is so full of detail and depth that it creates the illusion of being in a much larger place. Geralt can meditate in order to prepare for battle, pass time, drink potions, and the potions, again, very much essential if you want to succeed, because it's all about preparation for the task at hand, for the fight to come, for the boss that you're about to prepare for. But I would say the inventory is quite poorly thought out, with disappointing menus and lacking a sorting function, making finalizing your loadout becoming a massive chore. Another excellent part of this series is the freedom it gives you to make your own choices. You can help people out, screw them over, intimidate, charm, or if you're feeling like a bit of a Casanova, you can try your luck in the romance department. The choice is yours. With that in mind, it is a very mature game and not one I would recommend for kids. There's a huge amount of swearing, huge amount. Mature themes, wicked dialogue, nudity. So, if you've got young kids, think about that. If you're going to let them play this, it's very much a mature game. It's like the Elder Scrolls, but for grown-ups. Finally, on gameplay, the Enhanced Edition included all the DLC, an arena combat mode to hone your skills, extra side quests, a new CG intro, and a few other bits and pieces. Graphically, The Witcher 2 looks remarkably good considering its age. The characters are detailed, the environments have clearly had a lot of love and attention to detail put into them. Saying that, there were a few pop-up issues, but only, now and then. In terms of sound, The Witcher 2 is an absolute masterclass in sound design. Whether it be the beautifully evocative music that perfectly accompanies the different locales, or the tactful and immersive ambient sound effects. Both of these features really add to the richness of the experience as you lose yourself in this vibrant game world. Add to that the fantastic array of quality voice actors, the excellent writing and conversations that have real quality. Finally, on sound, I have to mention the game's sense of humour. It's a genuinely funny game at times, with witty one-liners, hilarious put-downs and conversations that are always worth listening to.
I'm tired of your whining. Get out of here. For fuck's sake, you command the blue stripes. Do something.
Okay, what's good and what's bad? What's good? The game has a fantastic story with rich and interesting characters. Combat is smooth and intuitive. The audio is second to none. It's a masterclass in character-driven writing with unforgettable protagonists. The boss fights are memorable, and it creates a linear game world that's relatively small in size, but one that feels immense in regard to its depth and lore. What's bad? The inventory screens are disappointing, and it could have done with a couple of open sections just to give you a little bit of time to process things, to breathe, to evolve your character away from the core narrative. So, what is the verdict? The Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings Enhanced Edition is a fantastic role-playing game with a rich story, interesting characters, a fascinating game world, and combat that's both satisfying and intuitive. Saying that, at times it did have a bit of an arcade feel with quick-time events and cheesy chases that would have been more at home in an Uncharted game. But it's very difficult not to enjoy the experience, with the stoic Geralt of Rivia investigating compelling situations in a very strong story-driven adventure. Yes, maybe it lacks some more openness like we saw in The Witcher 3, but it doesn't affect the quality of the adventure. It's another great story, very good writing, great characters, rich game world. So overall, it's a very good game, and one role-playing game fans will absolutely love. So with all that being said, my score for The Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings Enhanced Edition is 9 out of 10. Okay, that was the review. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. This is Photography Gamer signing off. Thank you.